like agriculture and railways. Meanwhile, the opposition is also piling on the pressure. Today, Rahul Gandhi came out and held a press conference where he alleged that there was a massive scam between FIIs, exit pollsters, the government and stock market operators. He alleged that the exit polls were completely ginned up to create the impression that the Modi Sarkar was coming back with a bigger majority, and that led to a big rally on Monday, the first market day after the exit polls came out on Saturday. And then on Tuesday, when the actual results came, there was a 6% fall in the stock markets. Rahul Gandhi's contention is this entire thing was a scam. It was played on the retail investors, the people of India. Piyush Goyal, the former commerce minister, has then hit back at Rahul Gandhi, saying that this is just spreading fear and propaganda. And the real reason why the markets fell on Tuesday was fear of the negative and regressive policies if a non-NDA government, an India alliance government, were to come to power. But the larger question, these are new, choppy, and perhaps even uncharted waters. So how does Modi 3.0, the new Modi 3.0 Sarkar, which will come into effect from Sunday onwards, how are they going to navigate this new challenging terrain?
मध्य प्रदेश, गुजरात, छत्तीसगढ़, दिल्ली, उत्तराखंड, हिमाचल ऐसे कई राज्यों में हमारी पार्टी ने लगभग क्लीन स्वीप किया है।
I am going for NDA meeting. In course of time, anything will report. Thank you.
The India bloc will continue to fight against the fascist rule of the BJP led by Modi.
मैं बार बार कहता हूँ मोदी जी की सरकार नहीं बनेगी और बनी तो नहीं टिकेगी।
All right, I want to first take a look at how the NDA allies have been flexing their muscles even before the government has been sworn in. As per top sources, this is what the NDA allies, the big ones, want. The TDP wants at least 3 berths in the Union Cabinet. The TDP is eyeing these following portfolios: civil aviation, steel, and MOS finance. They had civil aviation in the last government when they were part of the Modi Sarkar. The TDP also wants additional development funds that are meant for Andhra Pradesh, particularly for Amaravati. The JDU, the other big partner, the JDU wants at least 4 key cabinet portfolios. The JDU wants railways, which has always been associated with Bihar. Whether or not the new Modi Sarkar, which has put so much emphasis on railways, whether it will give it or not, we don't know. The JDU also is asking for the agriculture ministry. The JDU also wants Jal Shakti and rural development. Again, very key portfolios for the Modi Sarkar. The berth was promised apparently by Mr. Modi in a meeting in Gaya. Jitin Ram Manjhi is the other person. He's aiming for agriculture or the social justice ministry. Then you have the JDS, which is seeking 1 cabinet berth. It too wants the agriculture ministry. And then Chirag Paswan, and we'll play out a conversation with Chirag Paswan later on in the broadcast. The LJP chief is likely to become a full-time minister. He wants a reward for winning all the 5 seats that they contested. Food and public distribution was held by his father as well as his uncle. Eknath Shinde has 7 MPs. He claims that he has the best strike rate of all the NDA partners in Maharashtra. The Sena faction could get 1 ministry, 1 cabinet. And then there is Jana Sena, which could also possibly get 1 cabinet berth. Now, that is one part of the problem that the Modi 3.0 Sarkar has to deal with even before it's been sworn into office. There is now a new flashpoint between the BJP and the India bloc after Rahul Gandhi made a stunning charge, launching an attack at the exit polls. He alleged that there was a nexus between some foreign players, domestic stock market players, the Modi government, and fake exit pollsters. Now remember, all the exit polls gave a major mandate to the BJP. Then Rahul Gandhi said that there was a massive crash on counting day. There was a 6% fall on the Nifty and the Sensex. Rahul Gandhi has claimed that stock market was being manipulated at the instructions of the BJP top brass. He's now called for a JPC probe into the exit claims. Rahul Gandhi claims that both Modi and Shah encouraged people to buy stocks ahead of counting day. There was a response then from the BJP. Piyush Goyal hit back at Rahul Gandhi, claiming that the markets bounced back. It fell on Tuesday 6%, but it's bounced back in the subsequent trading sessions, both on Wednesday as well as on Thursday, about 4% or so, when it became clear that it is going to be NDA 3.0 Sarkar. Piyush Goyal accused Rahul Gandhi of peddling foreign propaganda, adding that the Aam Aadmi was the biggest beneficiary of the market boom. Listen in to both Rahul Gandhi and to Piyush Goyal, and then we will look at the storm of charges and countercharges.
13th May 2024, the Home Minister says, buy shares before 4th of June. This is a clear indication to retail investors and others to buy stock. 19th May, for the first time, and then repeatedly until the 28th May, the Prime Minister says that the stock market is going to break records on 4th June. Finally, on 1st June, completely fictitious exit polls are released. These investors are given a completely wrong impression. And on the 3rd of June, as we all know, the stock market breaks all records and then crashes on the 4th of June.
फिर एक बार मोदी सरकार आना निश्चित है और शायद इस बात से राहुल गांधी जी बड़े परेशान नजर आते हैं और अपने बयानों के साथ विदेश और देश के निवेशकों को एक भय के वातावरण में निवेश ना करें, इसके लिए उत्साहित करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। कांग्रेस यूपीए की सरकार के समय भारत का मार्केट कैप मात्र 67 लाख करोड़ था। आज वो बढ़कर 6 जून यानी आज के दिन बढ़कर 415 लाख 415 लाख करोड़ भारत का मार्केट कैप है।
All right, so here's a look at the storm of charges and countercharges on this latest flashpoint of stock market manipulation that's been alleged by Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi started off by saying that both the Prime Minister and the Home Minister encouraged people to buy stocks ahead of the results on 4th of June. Piyush Goyal has countered that by saying that the Aam Aadmi is actually the biggest beneficiary of the stock market boom. He in fact gave the market cap, which was at 60 lakh odd crores when the UPA left office, and it's now at 400 lakh crores. Rahul Gandhi's attack was that stock markets had crashed on result day because they had hyped up a result of a renewed and perhaps a bigger mandate through these exit polls for Modi Sarkar 3.0. Piyush Goyal's counter is that markets bounced back the moment it became clear that it was going to be an NDA 3.0 government. Rahul Gandhi says that there's clear evidence, according to him, of market manipulation before the polls through fake exit polls as well as through foreign investors. Piyush Goyal's counter to that is that Rahul Gandhi is peddling fake foreign propaganda. Rahul Gandhi's attack, and this is going to be something that the India Alliance will be focusing on in the upcoming monsoon session. They want a JPC probe into the exit poll scam. Piyush Goyal's counter is the government has no role in the exit poll projection. So that is what is the latest flashpoint between the BJP and the Congress. Joining us now here in our studios, happy to welcome to Insina, national spokesperson of the BJP. Mohan Kumar Mangalam is spokesperson of the Congress Party. Deepak Reddy is national spokesperson of the TDP and ex-MLC. Ghanshyam Tiwari is Samajwadi Party spokesperson. And Rajat Sethi will also be joining us in a moment. But let me start with you, Hinsina, this latest controversy, and since you're from Mumbai and also somebody who closely follows the stock markets, Rahul Gandhi says there's a nexus between what the Prime Minister and Home Minister said during the campaign, foreign investors, dubious exit pollsters, and that's why we saw on the 3rd, the markets went up, on the 4th, it tanked.
Well, good evening, Sarkar. Good evening, everybody. Rahul Gandhi is an ignorant man, but also habitually cynical. You know, between 31st May evening and today, 3:30 p.m., the stock market, actually, the Nifty has, only increased. Now, this baseless, this very frivolous charge that the Home Minister actually said that the stock market would go up, I think anybody who's invested in the stock market would very clearly know that you are advised from day one to follow the advice of a SEBI registered consultant or a SEBI registered expert. And that is where the timing becomes very important in the stock market. I don't know, according to his election affidavit, he has huge investments. Rahul Gandhi has huge investments in the stock market. If this is his level of understanding of the stock market, it only shows how intellectually, how logically challenged he is. These are the people who have presided over...
He is also alleging that there was this nexus between fake exit pollsters...
No, so I think that question needs to be answered...
And people in the government.
No, that question needs to be answered by journalists.
Was there a nexus? It was done at the behest of the government. No, the government directed these
so that needs to be answered by the media channels. Was there a nexus? Are you aware of it? Because all channels unanimously gave a 360 plus to NDA. Are you privy to any excess? Because I'm sure even your channel predicted the same. Throughout the election, these people cast aspersions on the Election Commission. These people cast aspersions on EVM. They cast aspersions on wealth creators. They cast aspersions on all journalists who interviewed the Prime Minister. And now, when he sees that there is enormous robustness in the financial markets, even after the results, these people want to create panic and havoc in the market.
Okay, let me ask Mohan Kumar Mangalam this. If you have evidence of such manipulation, approach the courts. Now, number one, whatever fall there was on Tuesday when the results went contrary to the exit polls, it was a 6% fall. The markets have already come back 4% in the trading sessions on Wednesday and Thursday. And this is normal, routine market movement. Why are you sniffing a scam, as Rahul Gandhi put it, where, as the BJP says, none exists?
Zaka, two things. First, let me correct you. It's not Modi 3.0. It's NDA 3.0. The PMO most likely will not run this government the way it ran the first two. He'll have to make deals with a whole host of coalition partners, some of which you went into in the beginning. So let's make sure we don't call it Modi 3.0. It isn't that. Second, I don't think there's anyone more ignorant and intellectually challenged on this panel or maybe even this country than Pulin Sinha. I'm not surprised. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. He's, after all, in Mr. Modi's party. So let me explain to you. You left out a couple of key things that Mr. Gandhi went into in his press conference. One, that the volume of share buying or the volume in the market was almost doubled on the 31st from the days before. That shows inordinate amount of activity in the market. Second, the BJP knew very well as all the intelligence agencies that were informing them, that they were between 200 and 220. Now, whether there is a nexus between the exit pollsters and the FIIs, who were responsible for 60% of the volume on the 31st, whether there is one, is the job of an investigative agency to actually look into, not the media.
No, one second, Mohan, I just want one clarification. I'll allow you to continue. I just want one clarification. The exit polls came out on the 1st. The big stock market rally happened on the 3rd, the day before the results day. You're saying 31st, so just give me the straight timeline on that.
Yes, well, let me explain it to you. On the 31st is when volume peaked, right?
Yeah.
How does the stock market operate? It operates on the principle that there is no information asymmetry. What we're seeing is basically an example of insider trading, where clearly people were in the know on what the result would be, right? Or what the exit polls would be the next day on the 1st. On 31st, volume went up. On first, when the market shot through the roof, there was profit taking by the foreign investors, by everybody in the know, and who was left holding the bag when the market hit the floor on the 4th were the retail investors.
Okay.
Do you understand the chronology?
Okay, to respond.
The Congress spokesperson has actually answered the question. The whole country was anticipating a big BJP win, and therefore, not just on 31st, in the entire build-up of 5 to 6 trading days and sessions prior to 31st, the stock market was consistently growing.
You
And
need to look at
yes,
the volume.
people were expecting that there would be a big mandate. In the last 4 days, in the last 4 trading days, 3 days the stock market has gone up exponentially. 1 day it fell steeply. And on the day that it fell steeply, even the stock market dreaded power shifting to these people. So I think that speaks a lot of the faith that the people of the country have in us.
Okay. Now let me open this up to Mr. Deepak Reddy is joining us. Ghanshyam Tiwari is there. Rajat Sethi is also joining us. Let me move to the larger, bigger issue, which is the blueprint and the outlook of the Modi Sarkar or the NDA Sarkar 3.0, which is going to be sworn in on Sunday. Already, we are given to understand that there are pushes and pulls, although nobody is saying this out public, but via sources both from your party as well as from the JDU, the expectation is 3 ministries, more funds for your pet projects, revival of the capital project, which seems to have stuck. The JDU wants agriculture and railways. That incidentally is being asked for by some of your other alliance partners as well. This is not stuff that the previous Modi government has had to deal with. So the opposition's contention, Mr. Reddy, is your wheels are moving in different directions even before the government has been sworn in.
Saka, very good evening to you and everybody. I need a minute extra because I need to set certain facts straight so that our viewers understand what exactly is going on. If you look at the India Alliance ecosystem, right after the results came out, they started peddling false information that, Nitish Kumar ji and Chandrababu Naidu ji have other plans and they are in talks with India Alliance. There's absolutely no proof that any of both these leaders have spoken to them. So they peddle false information and they provide evening entertainment for viewers. And even the stock market issue, which was just discussed, I mean, everything is on paper. This is not like you're doing something in cash. And SEBI is quite aggressive. So if there are any evidence, you can actually complain and it can all be tracked. So as I said, this is all falsification, and they are trying to make themselves relevant. I challenge the indie ecosystem. Can you show me any proof that we have demanded the 4 or 6 ministries as you have put out, or we have demanded the speaker post? In fact, we had a review meeting today, and our knowledge center people, we sat together, and we have seen the way things are going. This is all false information you're peddling. And mixing Chandrababu Naidu ji with Nitish Kumar ji itself is wrong. We never went up and down, or we never changed sides multiple times. Probably Nitish Kumar ji has done, clubbing both of us together and talking.
No, but one second. I mean, he's done it far more than you have, and far more frequently and far more dramatically. But you were with the NDA, you left the NDA. Again, may I remind you and our viewers on pretty bad terms, on very highly personal animosity. Now you've come back, you've had a pre-poll alliance, no one is doubting that. Why don't you once and for all, Mr. Reddy, why don't you once and for all set all that speculation to rest by saying that, no one from the India Alliance is calling us, or no one from the India Alliance need to make any attempt to bring us or woo us back, because we are firmly with the NDA.
Zaka, these people have no other work other than spreading false information. I mean, we don't have the time to keep on answering to each of their false allegations. I mean, they want entertainment, or they want to be relevant in modern politics. So they play that game. If you see the India Alliance all put together, they haven't gotten as much as BJP. And each one who has 4 or 5 or 10, they talk negative about BJP, or they cast aspersions on us. So we are rock solid.
So I'll take that point to Ghanshyam. I'll take that point to Ghanshyam. Leave aside, the tutu meme, the leaks and the counter leaks and who wants what. All that we'll know on Sunday, be that as it may. But the cold, hard arithmetic, the cold, hard logic is, Ghanshyam, even if Mr. Nitish Kumar and Mr. Chandrababu Naidu were to jump ship, leave Tuhin Sinha's NDA and join your India Alliance, you are still short by 10 to 12 seats. No, yeah, you've said that, but I'm saying hypothetically, Ghanshyam Tiwari, even if the 2 of them join you, you are still short by as much as 10 seats.
Good evening, Zaka, to you, my fellow co-panelists and the viewers. There are three things. One is to the previous discussion. Modi has systematically destroyed prestigious institutions of India. In BJP government's rule, institutional autonomy and democracy have been under attack. From CBI to RBI, even a constitutional authority like the Election Commission was not spared. 16 April 2019, N. Chandrababu Naidu. EC has failed to execute its primary duty of conducting free and fair elections. So for a TDP spokesperson to say that it's Indie Alliance while it's NDA for the other side, first of all, this is a fallacy. If it is NDA, then it is India. That's point number one. Point number two is that from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Gujarat to Mizoram, I've been saying from day one, name one state where BJP has not backstabbed. It's a kiss of death. Have backstabbed its ally when it allied with them. Look at what they did to Shiv Sena. Look at what they did to Shiromani Akali Dal. They will take over your party. They will take your MPs, take away your election symbols, and try to say that their party belongs to BJP rather than you. This is what they did to Shiv Sena. It is practical. Even their most loyal non-NDA alliance partners, which is BJD and YSRCP in the last Lok Sabha, look at what has happened to them. So it is clear that in this kiss of death, there are daggers drawn. There's a dagger in Nitish Kumar's hand, there's a dagger in Chandrababu Naidu's hand, and there's a dagger in Mr. Modi's hand.
But Ghanshyam,
and
let them worry about it. No, why you seem more worried for them than they themselves are worried.
The reason I am worried is exactly the question that came. Even before the government is formed, there is a national opposition building. The question for JPC, for example, Access My India, there are allegations that this organization works with BJP. There are similar allegations for other exit pollsters. Now, if they knew on day one that they are going to manipulate the stock market, and if the Prime Minister of India and the Home Minister of India are telling people to buy, common men who they have made poorer by their misgovernance, they are telling, are they in the business of stock trading? When they go on record in the election cycle, say that buy on the stocks after 1st June or buy stocks on 4th June, and they have their exit pollsters manipulating the data, and the data comes out, the questions are already asked by Saket Gokhale, Member of Parliament, and he has asked the SEBI to investigate whether those people who made money are related to these entities, and so it is for SEBI to find out.
Isn't this something, Rajat Sethi, that SEBI should be doing? I mean, why should it have to go to a joint parliamentary committee? What is the parliamentary oversight required for this? Because at the end of the day, you have a regulator whose job is exactly this. Whether there was any kind of cahoots between what the opposition is saying, fake exit pollsters and fake foreign institutional buyers, and who benefited from the rise that you saw on the 31st and the 3rd, and then the massive fall that happened on the 4th when the results came.
Jaga, this is the only aspect of politics which I personally feel is going to derail and distract the entire nation, when there should ideally be the entire focus on how to develop, how to go forward. We are in an international setting where the competition is intense, and any kind of wasteful spending of parliamentarian time just to do time pass is something that I personally feel that there are other more important issues where opposition could have utilized its time. They want to do time pass, so be it. They don't have an evidence. Again, there was no specific stock market, advice which was, so to say, quote unquote, given by Prime Minister or the Home Minister. So let them keep kite flying as much as they want. They can make this as a predominant election issue in the upcoming elections, Maharashtra, etc. Let them do it. I mean, what do I say if they are on a suicide path? I mean, they have got a momentum where they could utilize it on more relevant issues. They don't want to do it, so be it.
No, but Rajat, what then are the more relevant issues that you think, for example, when the monsoon session comes rolling on the first week of July, what should the opposition focus on? Because what they've been saying since the 4th of June is that this is a mandate against Mr. Modi. Forget about the fact that, if you break down the numbers, like I said, there's no way the India Alliance plus TDP plus JDU, even in a hypothetical situation, if they were to come together, they're still short. Whereas on the other side, the NDA is at 293.
See, it's not just 293. 10 more MPs have extended support, so it's 303 now. My point is...
No, one second. There's some confusion around that 10, but anyway, go ahead. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Fair enough. All right. Okay. Let us give them the benefit of doubt that they are, doing some grand strategy planning right now, that they will form the government. please go out and attract the allies. No? Keep doing this.
No, that's
See,
exactly what Ghanshyam is
neither-
doing. He's more worried for
Fair
Mr.
enough, good
Deepak
luck
Reddy
to
than
him.
Mr. Deepak Reddy is
No,
worried for
good luck to
himself.
him. He'll become the official, and I wish him, he's a good friend of mine. I wish him that he becomes the government spokesperson also of that hypothetical government that they have been daydreaming ever since the results. See, the point is not that. You want to do horse trading, you want to experiment on the mandate, please do that, be the guest, do it, public will see. Here, one party is clearly at 240, the next second largest party is at 99, the third largest party is at 37. Can you imagine the state of affairs if the opposition were to form the government? There'll be too many equals out there which will keep fighting as to who's going to get the prime ministerial chair.
Okay.
So I personally feel that this, the daggers, if the opposition were to make a government, the kind of daggers, the quality of daggers will be much more interesting to see.
You know,
than what is going to
their
happen
counter
here on
would be
the
that
NDA side.
if they've held through for the last year since the alliance was formed, despite ED, IT, CBI, what else have you?
How has the alliance stuck?
They may
All the
well
founders of
stick
the alliance have
together
left,
with the glue of power.
But
They
all
have
the
stuck
founders
together.
of
By
the
and large,
alliance
they've
have
stuck
left.
together. Tell me of the 26 parties, how many have left? Anyway, that's besides the point. I want to focus on Modi 3.0. So Tuin Sinha, here's the difference. One second, Ghanshyam. Here's the difference. When Modi 2.0 came into office in the week between the results and the swearing in of the government, there was no one coming out publicly and saying, you know, I want 3 ministries and I want 2 ministries and I want railways and I want agriculture. You are now having to deal with this is the new normal.
No, but have you come across anybody who's coming out and saying, I want this ministry?
Well, they're telling us.
No, that is media
They're telling
speculation.
us.
See, Zaka point is between 1989 and 2014, for a good 25 years, this country only had coalition government. So, you know, we raised the bar. In 2014, we got 282, we got 303 after that. But fact is that
so now
even
what, you
today,
have to lower the bar for a coalition?
No.
Like you're going to have to run a coalition government
Minor
now.
ups and downs are a part of life.
So
your blood pressure cannot be 80/20 every day.
So this is a minor down.
No, the fact is in 1998, we had 182 MPs. BJP had 182 MPs. Was there any problem in the running of the coalition government? This time, obviously, we have 240. It's very clearly a mandate for BJP-led NDA government. And, you know, we are at the cusp of history. Prime Minister Modi is going to be the first Prime Minister to be sworn in thrice. But more importantly, Congress, for the first time in its history, would be spending 3 consecutive terms in the opposition. If I were in the opposition, I would be very worried. I would be worried about the negativity, you know, which Congress brings and try to improve on that.
Mohan, you know, the fact of the matter is you've gone from 44 to 52 to 99. The Congress is sitting out in opposition for 3 consecutive terms. It's never happened in the history of India's electoral democracy. And for 3 consecutive terms, the Congress has not even touched triple digits. You should be more worried about that.
I do see me worried, Zaka. I'm smiling. We're all smiling for the last 2 days.
I said this to Ghanshyam 2 days ago. I had Ghanshyam and Sanju Verma on the show. Sanju Verma was behaving like her party lost, and Ghanshyam was like this Cheshire cat. He had a smile all through that show on the evening, just like he has tonight.
Zaka, trajectory and momentum that matters in politics. Absolute numbers. I mean, listen, how long was the BJP sitting outside before the Ram Mandir movement? For I can't even say how many years they sat. At one point of time, they only had 2 MPs. So we're building up and we're very happy. I think the happiness comes not from the numbers that we have reached in the Congress, but also that we believe that the verdict is a victory for the Indian voter. It is by and large the Indian voters saying that they want to return to a parliamentary democracy. And it is the end of this, you know, this sort of presidential era that raised its head in 2014. Because every election has operated differently. You'll have to go to every state and look at the results to see how different issues, almost down to every constituency, made a difference in the result. It wasn't one giant sort of knight-shining armor who's going to rule the day. I think that era is over. And therefore,
but Mohan, the fact is, maybe return to business is normal. Return to parliamentary democracy, as you said it. But parliamentary democracy under a government headed by Mr. Modi. There's no change to that. That is the bottom line.
Saka, let me tell you what's going to change. During the campaign, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu actually with Mr. Modi there said that he was going to give 4% reservation to Muslims. This is when Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah were going around the entire country saying that the Congress is going to give an increased percentage to Muslims in reservations against the constitution. So in fact, Purandeshwari, who's the BJP state president there, had to call up the media and say, please say that it is a TDP manifesto, not the NDA manifesto. I want to see if Mr. Modi can actually bring a uniform civil code in this term. I guarantee you the entire agenda is going to change now. As I said in the beginning, you're calling it Modi 3.0, but it is nowhere near that.
Let Deepak Reddy respond. Ghanshyam, I'm coming to you in 30 seconds.
Let me quickly finish. Let me quickly finish, really. I want to respond to Tuhin. Mr. Vajpayee was a coalition builder. He ran a coalition of 20 parties. This is Mr. Modi's first ever coalition in his political career. And you can ask anybody you know, that man is not used to running a coalition.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
Okay. Never too late to learn new tricks. But Deepak Reddy, on the issue of quotas for Muslims, the TDP has a different position from the BJP. On the issue of simultaneous elections, one nation, one poll, again, the TDP is not in favor of that. On the issue of caste-based census, both you and Nitish Kumar are batting in favor of a caste-based census, whereas the BJP is not openly asking for a caste-based census. So there are contentious issues. These issues are not going to resolve themselves on Sunday. Or before Sunday, sorry.
Yep. Zaka, on the face of it, I would like to thank the Congress and the NDA Alliance for their wonderful Shekuni type of politics in the modern day. So the way they keep throwing these things around, playing these little games. So, I mean, I'm quite surprised. And I challenge this India ecosystem, talk on issues rather than playing these, games. Let me be very clear, coming straight to the Muslim 4% reservation. The day the manifesto was issued a month ago by Janasena and TDP, our President Chandrababu Naidu ji, there was a person representing BJP, and that gentleman has clearly spoken to the press, and he said this manifesto is a joint manifesto for Andhra Pradesh being issued by TDP and Janasena. So whatever is going to be in this manifesto, we respect it as far as Andhra Pradesh is concerned. So it has been made very clear. So that is how alliance works. We respect each other. So BJP has a certain plan, but we had this Muslim reservation 4% commitment from way before. So our alliance just took place 3 months ago. It goes with mutual respect, and there are certain issues, even if we thought were good earlier, we don't mind changing if it is good for the country and for the larger interest.
Ghanshyam,
So
Ghanshyam, it's good for the country, good for the larger interest.
Is trying to
We respect each other like good coalition partners, and therefore, the BJP will not implement will not tinker with the Muslim quota in Andhra Pradesh. Ghanshyam, what's wrong with that?
Three quick things. One, throughout the elections, the Prime Minister ran a hateful campaign targeting Muslims and targeting reservations. Now for them to say that it's a joint manifesto, it's a shame that we can even say that on a national TV. Point number one. Point number two, in 1998, when BJP had a coalition government, India had a biological Prime Minister. So what if Mr. Naidu and Mr. Nitish Kumar says that in NDA we want a biological Prime Minister? They'll have to find a new one. You ask us.
Sir, they just reaffirmed, I think 14 or 15 parties reaffirmed that the leader of the NDA is Mr. Modi.
Yeah,
they just did that yesterday.
Mr. Modi has to get down from the God status.
That's important.
Zaka, can he
in
do
December
it?
2022, in December 2022, during a press conference during the Bharat Jodo Yatra, Rahul Gandhi went on categorically explaining that मैंने राहुल गांधी को मार दिया. आपके सामने जो बैठा है वो राहुल गांधी नहीं है. So is this a deep fake, the Rahul Gandhi that you see today, who holds press conference? I think it's the Congress which needs to answer all of these questions. Fact is, when it comes to Chandrababu Naidu, let me say this with responsibility, that like Modi ji, he's a Vikas Purush. You would recall, probably they have a short memory, but during the mid-90s, way ahead of his times, he made Hyderabad an IT hub, the first IT hub of the country. So these people who promise, reservation based on community, reservation based on religion, or reservation to minorities in infrastructure projects will never realize the essence of development which TDP and Naidu bring to us.
Okay, Ghanshyam, quick response, and then Rajat.
in the same sentence, Tuhin is appreciating Chandrababu Naidu and criticizing him. And we know that he's a Vikas Purush. His symbol is also cycle. For 10 years, they said cycle puncture ho gayi, cycle puncture ho gayi. Now this entire government wants to run on.
No, that cycle is your cycle, not Deepak Reddy's cycle.
I'm just talking about the contradictions that exist. I'm just talking about speaking about the contradictions that exist. That Tuhin on your channel in one sentence can appreciate Chandrababu Naidu ji and also criticize.
No, I get that. But when they said cycle puncture ho gaya, वो आपके cycle है, TDP के cycle नहीं है.
Cycle to cycle है.
किसने कहा cycle puncture हो गया?
In the context of Akhilesh, BJP has said cycle puncture ho gaya hai. But anyway, but Rajat, I mean, you know, it's great for a television debate which represents all sides. I mean, I'm happy that all sides come to this show and to this channel. But at the end of the day, you can't run a country like that. If you're going to be pulling in different directions, and like I said, the one difference I notice as a journalist is when the previous Modi Sarkar was being sworn in, the gap of 1 week between result day and the day of swearing in, nobody was putting it out through these leaks that, oh, you know, we want 3 ministries and we want 1 cabinet and we want this and we want that. But it's happening now. And this is a change. This is a new challenge that the new Modi government will have to deal with. This is a choppy water and uncharted territory that they will have to navigate.
Zaka, I mean, life would have been so boring if it would have been a repeat of all the past 10 years that we've seen yet again for next 5 years. I mean, your job itself would have been so boring. So you should be happy that at least there is so much of masala going around and you are having a debate on it. But on a serious note, let me tell you this thing. You know, when you say Atalji managed to run a government with 13 alliance partners, back then the organizational general secretary was Narendra Modi. This man is a gifted politician. He has a 50-year worth political experience, which I don't think any other contemporary politician has. So give it to him. It's not like a rocket science to manage two alliance partners. And then you have a whole host of other alliance partners, plus the others, third front category, people who are ready to come in and support him, you know, whenever it is needed. You know, if TDP is a bottleneck, I think I'm just looking as an analyst. Even YSRCP has said that I'm not going to join the Congress party. Today, Gopal Rai, I think, of Aam Aadmi Party said that we are going to, you know, go our separate ways. We will not stick with the Congress party and we'll fight in Delhi elections separately. So, you know, if one were rational and if my TDP friend over there were rational, and if you were to think that can a party with 99 MPs and the second largest party with 37 MPs and the third largest party with 16 MPs can actually run a stable government, the answer is loud and clear no. What would they gain by going to the India bloc?
Okay.
Honestly, tell me. I mean, it's very, very basic. See, this is where I think the opposition should concede that, yes, India Alliance will sit in the opposition and we will hold the government accountable and ensure that our constructive approach benefits the citizen. Because the citizens of this country have been waiting for a responsible opposition for a very, very long time.
Which I think after the India Alliance meeting yesterday, it was more or less clear that they have consigned.
No, they never stated it.
They didn't say it in the formal statement,
so why
but
would they
again,
not concede?
That's the beauty of the situation that we are in. Now we're getting leaks from that side as well, saying that, look, we are happy to sit in the opposition. Mohan might disagree, but that is what we've been told. Yeah. No, but Mohan, the point is not that. The fundamental point is this. Mohan, one second. Hear my question out. The fundamental point is this: that in politics, you have to take different people and different interests along. You cannot be in politics, you cannot be a successful politician by all yardsticks. Mr. Modi is an extremely successful politician. He's been in the business of politics for the last 50 years. There were contradictory alliances. Look at the BJP-PDP alliance, for example, in Kashmir. It ran for 2 years. To say that a consummate politician like Mr. Modi cannot take along allies like TDP or JDU, that just does not bear itself out from what we've seen of his own political career in the last many years.
Zaka, all I've seen in the last 10 years him do is use the ED, CBI, NIT to arm twist whoever he can to come to his side. So I'm not sure if it is diplomacy or sheer power of being, a majority on his own that allowed him to do that. Now, having said that, let me say, Zaka, that I'm not authorized to do this, but if I were to make the decision on behalf of the India Alliance, I would say we should sit in the opposition. I, for once, agree with something that Rajat is saying. I think the people of India have voted for an extremely strong opposition. There is no way Parliament will run the way it did for the last 10 years, especially the last 5 years, where swaths of MPs were just suspended, where anything could happen, any sort of legislation could be railroaded. Now, Mr. Modi can't just go from his PMO straight to Parliament with a bill. He's going to have to sit down with all his partners at the very least and face a formidable opposition in Parliament. So things are changed, and I think a great opposition is what the India Alliance, as a congressman, I'm saying even I would like to play.
Okay.
So yeah, the door might be open for anybody because their contradictions are far and wide in the alliance that is being formed, but we're not going out to anybody.
So
Tuhin,
which basically means, I believe the 17th Lok Sabha had the fewest parliamentary committees, standing committees, out of the last many Lok Sabhas. You will have to now learn to reach out across the aisle and do business with the opposition, because otherwise you're not going to get bills passed.
Zaka, we have always been extremely accommodating in Parliament, but I think it's now this opposition also needs to realize that, you know, they need to grow out of the my way or the highway mentality. You know, I would, you know, take you back to 2019 January when the Rafale discussion was happening. You know, if the opposition decides to throw paper planes in front of a lady defense minister, Rahul Gandhi starts winking, is that a responsible behavior from the opposition? So if they grow out of it, let me reassure you, the government has always been open to discussing each and everything threadbare, including Manipur, including the Rafale deal, including everything.
Okay. In that same session, by the way, by the end of that session, the number of MPs that were suspended were, I think, 125 or something. But hopefully that will not happen.
What do you expect, you know?
But hopefully that will not happen. Deepak Reddy, quick final word. 10 seconds. I got to wrap up after that.
Yeah, I just had a quick question for Tuhin. You know, last time
Zaka, let me quickly hop in. I was not just a spokesperson. I was an ex-MLC and I was heading a zone which had 35 constituencies. So I am coming from the grassroots level. Any party which is not going to be in power for 3 terms, most of the people who are going to be there, they will not have enough juice to go forward. So the India Alliance is going to fizzle out in the next 6 months. Keep watching. Mark my words.
Okay.
And as far as TDP is concerned, I want to make it absolutely clear that we had a government which was run by a psychopath, and our state went 30 years behind. So our only mission now is to put our state back in track and take it into the development path.
All right.
And we are going to be part of this government, and we're going to work to see to that our state is
coming back. More than 10 seconds. Real 10 seconds. I'm completely out of time.
To Mr. Reddy, I'll quote Mark Twain. Rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. You can ask for an India Mukh Bharat or a Congress Mukh Bharat for the next 15 years also. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. And to Tuhin Sinha, one question. Last time you chanted Jai Shri Ram every time someone came to take an oath to become a member of Parliament. Is it going to be Jai Jagannath this time?
Well, what's wrong with Jai Shri Ram?
Another thing. Another Shakuni trick.
I think you need to decide when you're going to pay a visit to Ayodhya, if at all. I mean.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us. Like I said, it's going to be fascinating. The first session of this new government, the monsoon session, we'll wait for that. But before that, there's going to be the big swearing in that's going to happen on Sunday, and then tomorrow there's going to be the NDA Parliamentary Party meeting, followed by the NDA leaders led by the Prime Minister going to Rashtrapati Bhavan to stake claim to form the next government. So it's an action-packed weekend of political developments, and stay tuned to CNN News 18. You had made CNN News 18 your election news destination. We're number 1 on counting day on YouTube with over 5 lakh peak concurrents. So we hope that we have your company through the weekend in what is going to be a very fast-paced weekend full of political developments. So that is Brass Tacks here on CNN News 18. On the other side, I'll be speaking with Chirag Paswan. We were coming to you live from the CNN News 18 Federal Bank Primetime studio. I asked Chirag Paswan what it will take for him and his party to be a part of NDA Sarkar, Modi Sarkar 3.2. Thank you.
बीफ की होती है चुनाव में कि हमारे सारे टीम है, सबकी जवाबदारी है। अकेले की देवेंद्र की जवाबदारी नहीं है, हमारी सबकी जवाबदारी है कि पूरा टीम को साथ लेकर काम करना।
बारामती ये जो सीट है ये काफी हाई स्टेक्स बैटल था और हमने देखा कि तकरीबन 1.5 लाख मार्जिन से सुप्रिया सुळे जीत गई हैं, सुनेत्रा पवार हार गई हैं। कैसे असेस करते हैं आप इसको?
नहीं, हमने इस पे काफी मंथन किया है। कल पूरे दिन 1,58,000 वोटों के जो फर्क रहा है, हाई वोल्टेज सीट थी, हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी प्रेस्टीज की सीट थी। हमारे विपक्ष के लोगों ने बहुत हमारे पे इल्जाम भी लगाए थे, लेकिन जिस तरीके से अजीत दादा ने वहां पे काम किया और जिन जिन लोगों पे जिम्मेदारी सौंपी, चाहे वो पार्टी के लोग हो या चाहे फिर वो मित्र पक्ष के लोग हो, हमें लगता है जिस तरीके से लीड हमें इंदापुर, पुरंदर और वेल्ला, मुर्शी, खड़कवासला इस जगह से और प्रॉपर बारामती मिलना चाहिए था, वो हमें मिला नहीं। और ये मैं खुद मेरी राय यहाँ पे कर रहा हूँ, वैयक्तिक मेरी राय ऐसी है कि मित्र पक्ष जो हमने साथ लेके हम चले, उन्होंने बारामती में हमें सहकार्य न करने की वजह से इतनी बड़ी हार हमारी वहां पे हुई है। हम जरूर इस बात पे मंथन करेंगे, क्योंकि कल उसके बारे में शुक्रवार को एक बैठक रखी गई है और मैं मेरी राय एक पार्टी के वरिष्ठ लोगों के पास रखने वाला हूँ। ये तो बात तय है कि हमारे लोगों ने हमारा काम नहीं किया, इसलिए हमारा वहां पे पराभव हुआ।
And we are learning from our NDA sources that one MP from the Maratha community is likely to get a chance in the cabinet of Modi government 3.0, and the fight is also on for the MOS seats, and Ajit Pawar is also likely to give his name from the NCP. So this is the update that is coming in as far as the Maharashtra politics is concerned, that the fight is on for the MOS seat, but we're learning according to our NDA sources that one MP from the Maratha community is likely to get a chance in the cabinet. And we're now being joined by Prashant Leela Ramdas on this story. Mr. Ramdas, we're learning that one MP from the Maratha community is likely to get a chance in the cabinet. Tell us more about it.
जिस तरह से हलचलें चल रही है, इस हलचलों में एक बहुत बड़ी बात आगे आ रही है कि महाराष्ट्र से जो भी मंत्री बनने वाले हैं, जिस तरह से खासकर देखा जाए शिवसेना से 2 मंत्री बनेंगे, जो 2 मंत्री बनेंगे उसमें एक अनुभवी और मराठा फेस होना चाहिए, इस तरह की एक आकलन किया गया है। दूसरा, एक राज्य मंत्री स्तर का मंत्री होगा जिसके लिए अभी चर्चा चल रही है, उस पर ही जल्द नाम फाइनल हो जाएगा। आज या कल में वो नाम फाइनल हो कैबिनेट के लिए दिया जाएगा। दूसरा देखा जाएगा अजीत पवार की ओर से और एक नाम दिया जाएगा, जिसका भी नाम जब लगभग तय हुआ है। प्रफुल्ल पटेल उस जो दौड़ है उस दौड़ में सबसे आगे है। और तीसरा जब देखा जाएगा भारतीय जनता पार्टी की ओर से अभी तक 3 नाम लगभग तय हो चुके हैं, जिसमें पीयूष गोयल का नाम सबसे आगे है, नितिन गडकरी का नाम सबसे आगे है और फॉर्मर मिनिस्टर और फॉर्मर चीफ मिनिस्टर नारायण राणे उनका भी नाम सबसे आगे है। तो इस तरह की हलचलें चल रही है और हो सकता है कल तक इन नामों की घोषणा भी हो जाए।
All right, Prashant Ramdas ji, आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया इन सारी जानकारी के लिए. Let's take a look at some more reactions on this.
One of the states, big states that's done well for the NDA is the state of Bihar. The NDA has got 31 out of 40 seats. It's a come down from the 39 that they had last time. But one party in Bihar which has done exceptionally well is the LJP, the Lok Janshakti Party, and the head of that party is now joining us, Chirag Paswan. Thank you very much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. First of all, many congratulations on this victory, particularly for your party. You won all 5 of the 5 seats that you contested. But just how easy or difficult was it? Because this is the first election you were fighting. There was a new symbol, a new party name. Of course, you had to fight with your own uncle in that fratricidal sort of battle to try and regain the party and the symbol. So how easy or difficult was it for you?
Well, I think first of all, the absolute credit goes to all my party people, all my workers, all my leaders. The way they stood by the party throughout thick and thin. I mean, definitely there were tough times, there were difficult times for the party. There was a time when we lost the name of the party, we lost the symbol. With a new name, new symbol, we went ahead for the polls. And the way the people of my state they supported me, the kind of belief that they have shown in me, that comes with a huge responsibility as well. But then yes, I think all the credit goes to the people of my state and the people of my party.
So now that we're talking about, government formation, Modi 3.0, clearly Bihar is going to play an important role. I'll come to the question about Nitish Kumar in just one second. But what next for you, Chirag Paswan, your party, yourself? You're in a pretty demanding position, a commanding position. Is there anything with regard to the ministries? There was some chatter that you want the same ministries that your father, the late Ramvilas Paswan, had. There's some chatter, of course, that railways, for example, has always been with some minister or the other from Bihar. What is it that you are wanting from Modi Sarkar 3.0?
Well, I have no idea whether I am in a demanding position or not. Having said that, my belief in my Prime Minister is so much so that I'll never going to demand anything from him. For me, this is a big win that this is for the third time he'll be taking oath for the Prime Ministership. That was our target. That was something that we all the NDA allies, we were working together for. And we are happy to see him becoming the Prime Minister of the country for the third time.
You were in the NDA meeting yesterday. How was the Josh in the NDA camp? Because let's face it, the result is not exactly an overwhelming mandate. The numbers for the NDA itself have come down quite substantially. It was 353 last time around in 2019. It came down to 293. So clearly there's been a fall of about 60 odd seats, both for the NDA and for the BJP. What was the mood like in that meeting?
Well, the Josh was actually high, and we need to understand this as a fact. This wasn't easy, and this is not a normal thing, I mean, continuously to become Prime Minister for the third time, for an alliance to come back in power repeatedly for the first time. I think if I know the history of my country well, I think this is only for the second time this is happening over past 7 decades, that a government is coming back in power continuously for the third time. So I think this is a big win in itself. Definitely, I mean, we've fallen short of the target that we have set for ourselves. Having said that, I think these are the matters that we'll set within the alliance. We'll analyze what went wrong, and that will be sorted. We'll be back with the required numbers, with the achieving the required target that we set for 2024 in 2029. I'm sure about that. But then yes, the Josh was absolutely high in that NDA meeting.
I do want to ask you about Nitish Kumar. You've also had a bit of a love-hate relationship with the Bihar Chief Minister. There have been some name-calling, etc. in the past. We'll leave that aside. But he already is in a commanding position in the alliance. He's the third biggest partner now in the NDA with 12 MPs. He's changed sides several times. In fact, you've also made sort of fun of him with the moniker Paltu Chacha and so on and so forth. But how confident are you that he will stick with the NDA this time around? In fact, India Alliance leaders, at least until yesterday, were saying, Nitish to sabke hain. Aisa nahi hai ki Nitish sirf NDA ke hain, Nitish to sabke hain. So how will you respond to that?
When we say Nitish sabke hain, to Bihar ki har ek janta ke hain. And yes, my Chief Minister has an important role to play, the kind of result that has come from my state, Bihar. I think we have managed to perform really well in Bihar, and the reason behind that is the support of my Chief Minister. Having said that, yes, opposition is definitely trying to get him on his side, but I think my Chief Minister is very, very, very clear. I met him yesterday. Yesterday morning, I had a meeting with him, and he's absolutely very clear. The whole NDA is standing strong with my Prime Minister, and there's no doubt in that.
All right, and final question. Clearly, you will be coming back into government. You will be coming back into Modi Sarkar, this time 3.0. How big is this responsibility? You'll have to fill in to the shoes of your late father, the rather big shoes that he left behind. What is going on through your mind right now as you look at this responsibility? Because like you said right up first in the first answer, this is a huge responsibility.
Well, this comes with a huge responsibility. I mean, I have big shoes to fill in. My father has always represented Hajipur. I mean, this this was an emotional moment as well for me, when I was getting that certificate. I've always seen my father's name on that certificate, and this for the first time I was seeing my name on the certificate for Hajipur Lok Sabha. So yes, this comes with a huge responsibility, but I believe that it's all because of his blessing. Wherever he is, I know that he is giving me all his blessing is the reason why I'm here.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, Chirag Paswan, for speaking with us, and good luck to you. We'll be in touch with you through the course of Modi 3.0.
ने अपनी भावना व्यक्त की है और उन्होंने कहा है कि मैं केंद्र से बात करूंगा, केंद्र के सभी नेताओं से बात करूंगा और उसके बाद मैं कुछ निर्णय करूंगा। ऐसा उन्होंने कहा है नहीं कि मेरा रेसिग्नेशन लेना चाहिए, मैं रेसिग्नेशन दे रहा हूं, ऐसा कुछ कहा है नहीं। बात का बतंगड़ बन गया है। उनकी भावना ऐसी है कि जब कुछ थोड़ा चुनाव में कम ज्यादा होता है तो नेता की एक भावना होती है कि भाई उनकी जवाबदारी होती है, मेरी जवाबदारी होती है, ऐसा उन्होंने बोला है। जवाबदारी सभी की होती है चुनाव में कि हमारे सारे टीम है, सबकी जवाबदारी है। अकेले की देवेंद्र की जवाबदारी नहीं है, हमारी सबकी जवाबदारी है कि पूरा टीम को साथ लेकर काम करना।
बारामती ये जो सीट है ये काफी हाई स्टेक्स बैटल था और हमने देखा कि तकरीबन 1.5 लाख मार्जिन से सुप्रिया सुळे जीत गई हैं, सुनेत्रा पवार हार गई हैं। कैसे असेस करते हैं आप इसको?
नहीं, हमने इस पे काफी मंथन किया है। कल पूरे दिन 1,58,000 वोटों के जो फर्क रहा है, हाई वोल्टेज सीट थी, हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी प्रेस्टीज की सीट थी। हमारे विपक्ष के लोगों ने बहुत हमारे पे इल्जाम भी लगाए थे, लेकिन जिस तरीके से अजीत दादा ने वहां पे काम किया और जिन जिन लोगों पे जिम्मेदारी सौंपी, चाहे वो पार्टी के लोग हो या चाहे फिर वो मित्र पक्ष के लोग हो, हमें लगता है जिस तरीके से लीड हमें इंदापुर, पुरंदर, और वेल्ला, मुर्शी, खड़कवासला इस जगह से और प्रॉपर बारामती मिलना चाहिए था, वो हमें मिला नहीं। और ये मैं खुद मेरी राय यहाँ पे कर रहा हूँ, वैयक्तिक मेरी राय ऐसी है कि मित्र पक्ष जो हमने साथ लेके हम चले, उन्होंने बारामती में हमें सहकार्य न करने की वजह से इतनी बड़ी हार हमारी वहां पे हुई है। हम जरूर इस बात पे मंथन करेंगे क्योंकि कल उसके बारे में शुक्रवार को एक बैठक रखी गई है और मैं मेरी राय एक पार्टी के वरिष्ठ लोगों के पास रखने वाला हूं। ये तो बात तय है कि हमारे लोगों ने हमारा काम नहीं किया, इसलिए हमारा वहां पे पराभव हुआ।
And we are learning from our NDA sources that one MP from the Maratha community is likely to get a chance in the cabinet of Modi government 3.0, and the fight is also on for the MOS seats, and Ajit Pawar is also likely to give his name from the NCP. So this is the update that is coming in as far as the Maharashtra politics is concerned, that the fight is on for the MOS seat, but we're learning according to our NDA sources that one MP from the Maratha community is likely to get a chance in the cabinet. And we're now being joined by Prashant Leela Ramdas on this story. Mr. Ramdas, we're learning that one MP from the Maratha community is likely to get a chance in the cabinet. Tell us more about it.
जिस तरह से हलचलें चल रही है, इस हलचलों में एक बहुत बड़ी बात आगे आ रही है कि महाराष्ट्र से जो भी मंत्री बनने वाले हैं, जिस तरह से खासकर देखा जाए शिवसेना से 2 मंत्री बनेंगे, जो 2 मंत्री बनेंगे उसमें एक अनुभवी और मराठा फेस होना चाहिए, इस तरह की एक आकलन किया गया है। दूसरा, एक राज्य मंत्री स्तर का मंत्री होगा जिसके लिए अभी चर्चा चल रही है, उस पर ही जल्द नाम फाइनल हो जाएगा। आज या कल में वो नाम फाइनल हो कैबिनेट के लिए दिया जाएगा। दूसरा देखा जाएगा अजीत पवार की ओर से और एक नाम दिया जाएगा, जिसका भी नाम जब लगभग तय हुआ है। प्रफुल्ल पटेल उस जो दौड़ है उस दौड़ में सबसे आगे है। और तीसरा जब देखा जाए तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की ओर से अभी तक 3 नाम लगभग तय हो चुके हैं, जिसमें पीयूष गोयल का नाम सबसे आगे है, नितिन गडकरी का नाम सबसे आगे है और फॉर्मर मिनिस्टर और फॉर्मर चीफ मिनिस्टर नारायण राणे उनका भी नाम सबसे आगे है। तो इस तरह की हलचलें चल रही है और हो सकता है कल तक इन नामों की घोषणा भी हो जाए।
All right, Prashant Ramdas ji, आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया इन सारी जानकारी के लिए. Let's take a look at some more reactions on this.
ने अपनी भावना व्यक्त की है और उन्होंने कहा है कि मैं केंद्र से बात करूंगा, केंद्र के सभी नेताओं से बात करूंगा और उसके बाद मैं कुछ निर्णय करूंगा। ऐसा उन्होंने कहा है नहीं कि मेरा रेसिग्नेशन लेना चाहिए, मैं रेसिग्नेशन दे रहा हूँ, ऐसा कुछ कहा है नहीं। बात का बतंगड़ बन गया है। उनकी भावना ऐसी है कि जब कुछ थोड़ा चुनाव में कम ज्यादा होता है तो नेता की एक भावना होती है कि भाई उनकी जवाबदारी होती है, मेरी जवाबदारी होती है, ऐसा उन्होंने बोला है। जवाबदारी सभी की होती है चुनाव में कि हमारे सारे टीम है, सबकी जवाबदारी है। अकेले की देवेंद्र की जवाबदारी नहीं है, हमारी सबकी जवाबदारी है कि पूरा टीम।
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. 2 days after election results were out, hectic politicking is on in New Delhi. The opposition won't try to form the government. The incumbent is on course to lead for a third term. But this time, Prime Minister Modi will have to accommodate allies. Allies were making big